The Brand X podcast is sponsored by Audio Editing Solutions. Editing your podcast just not your thing? Go to audioeditingsolutions.com and see how affordable professional audio editing can be. Welcome back to another episode of the Brand X podcast. I'm John.
And I am Deuce.
And we want to welcome you back again. You know, it's funny. It seems like we just did this yesterday, but it has been a full week.
It was a fast week,
It
like
seems
you said.
to be. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure why. Are you watching any of the Olympics, the dumpster fire that is actually the Olympics?
No. Ever since the Soviet Union collapsed, it doesn't seem to mean as much to me.
I got to tell you, there's something. Well, see, there's so much going on over there. I mean, we thought China was going to have a hard time. These Olympics in Rio are just an embarrassment for the amount of money that was thrown around, the amount of time that they had. The people over there, they're basically living in squalor. I mean, they go over there, they don't have any. Come on in.
That's Diane leaving. She tried to stealthily creep out, but with that squeaky door. I even heard the squeaky door through the headphones.
So anyhow, yeah, it was like over in Venezuela. I mean, over in Brazil, they're trying to open the door. The doors are squeaking. There's no toilet. You know, they flush the toilets. The water's running down the wall.
Yeah, they pump raw sewage into their water,
that's nice.
Yeah, and then they're going to lecture us on climate change, but I digress.
Right. So with all that going on, I have to say there's some things that I love to watch. And I know this is going to sound bad, but I really, really enjoy watching the women's gymnastics.
I was going to say that. I love watching the Monkey Girls.
The Monkey Girls are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could do that, but commit crime.
The things that they do, like they just did the floor exercises the other day, and you just sit there and you go, whoa, how does a human body do that? How does it defy gravity like that? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there's physics and, you know, all that stuff that actually makes that happen. But I'm into that, and I'm in the swimming, you know, the men or the women, I don't care. I like the swimming. Male gymnastics, I don't care about. I don't know why that is.
Well,
maybe I do.
I'm fascinated by all the gymnastics, but with the Monkey Girls, I'm really particular when they have that gigantic tennis court size mat,
right?
That they do the dance routine.
That's the floor exercise.
Yeah, is that what that's called? And even when it's not the Olympics, if I'm just surfing through channels and Monkey Girls come up, I'm that. I have to watch it. It's like when you stumble across The Godfather or Jaws. It's like, well, I'm watching this now.
Yeah. There goes my day. What was it? There was the other day. There was a movie on, and I can't remember what it was. But I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually sitting here and watching this. I've seen it 100 times, and every time it comes on, I have to watch it. It'll come to me later on.
There's a bunch of, we had this discussion in the break room where I work about that. Like, You'll just be channel surfing, and it just seems we've whittled it down to it's always Jaws, The Godfather, Goodfellas, The Shawshank Redemption.
I've never seen The Shawshank.
You never seen The Shawshank?
Never seen The Shawshank.
You're like Larry. Larry has, there's like hundreds of great movies that Larry has never seen.
Right.
But it's like, there are movies that are so good, even if there's like, the last 10 minutes of the movie, you'll just sit there and watch it.
Oh, okay. So
because it's that good.
All right. So mine is Godfather. Mine is Mean Girls.
I've never seen that one.
That's
a movie I've never seen, but I've heard good things about it.
There's another Rachel McAdams movie. I think it's Rachel McAdams with Tom. I want to say Tom Dempsey, but maybe it's not Tom Dempsey. I can't think. I think it's called Can't Buy Me Love.
Howard Stern likes that movie.
Yeah, right. I love that movie. And there's also Pretty in Pink with the girl.
John Hughes film.
Yeah,
Molly
Ringwald. The one that looks like Sandy.
Molly Ringwald.
Right. And I love that. So I got to watch that. Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen this one in ages, but there's another one where it's a girl who she goes to a school for a scholarship in journalism or something. I forget what it was, but she turns herself into a guy. She's a hot girl, and she makes herself into a guy, and she's like...
is that the Amanda Bynes movie, She's the Man?
No, it's not that. And I only seen it every once... I can't think of what the name of it now, but that used to be a favorite of mine. As soon as that was on, I had to sit down and watch it. But, yeah, movies like that. Goodfellas, another one that I have to watch. I thought there was one, but anyhow, there's a ton of movies like that I have to sit down and watch as soon as they come on. But the same thing with the Monkey Girls. When you go in there to watch the Olympics, like if I see the swimming, is that the only really ones that I want to watch? I can't really think of any other ones.
The decathlon is always kind of fascinating when the athletes aren't cheating. Like the Russians, I heard they got caught again. One of their female athletes got caught with a set of cock and balls or something. I don't know. Like they cheat so much.
What do you mean? I don't know. What do you mean? I failed the test.
I mean, between the doping allegations and then they're like really dudes. I mean, like you said, it's a real shit show with the Olympics anymore.
Boxing. I like the boxing.
Yeah, that was
always fun to watch too. But I don't really see it that much. But there's like some on there now. Like now, I'm watching the rowing. Okay, and now I know they're rowing in that filthy, viral infected water
with the mosquitoes,
right?
With
and
the
I'm
Zika
sitting there,
virus.
right? I'm sitting there watching the water splash on. I'm actually getting ill. I'm like, it's a little tough. You know what I mean?
Tough to row through that.
Yeah, it's like you're sitting there rowing, all of a sudden I see water splash on the guy. I'm like,
where the hell is that from? Championship projectile vomiting.
It was a little tough. I forget what I had that day, but it was. That's amazing. Yeah, I just so I do like the Olympics. Now, here's the one thing I can't stand. The opening and closing ceremony. Well, I don't even think they have a close. The opening ceremonies. Everybody makes a big deal of the opening. That's the biggest waste of time.
The only thing, I mean, not to cut you off, but I did hear a lot of people complain, and it was in all the news, that they had 6 major commercial breaks the first 39 minutes.
Sure.
And I didn't watch it, so I don't know, but I'm going to guess it was all for Coca-Cola, beer, and McDonald's. I mean, and probably a car company. It was like, it was just one gigantic commercial from what I heard.
You know how much money that the networks had to pay to get the rights for this? Mm-hmm. So where are they going to get this money back? And then here's the other thing, too. There's like with cable, before it used to be whoever had it. It was NBC,
ABC,
or ABC.
CBS. Usually it was ABC, I remember,
they would
as
run
a kid.
Yeah, they would run it all night, basically. But now with cable, and they have all these different networks and everything, it's on, there's like 7 or 8 different channels that have it on that you can go watch this or that. So they still have to get their money from this. And then where are they, these lesser known channels that won't have the same buying power. Right, as the bigger ones do.
And you're old enough to remember this because you just brought it up. When a regular network like ABC had it, and I always remember them having it, them or NBC, because they had ABC's Wide World of Sports and NBC had their equivalent. But it ran continuously all day long. And then if there was a downtime where nothing was going on, they would just flash to like, okay, and now we're going to watch, and they would show some sport that no one really cared, like curling in the Winter Olympics, which why that's even a sport, I don't even know.
Curling?
But
that's I love curling.
Yeah. What, with the ice and the
and the broom? They're sweeping like madman. I don't know why I like it. I love it.
Yeah. See, that bothers me because it's like, they got rid of baseball, but we'll put that on. But I mean, remember, I don't even think they could do the Olympics like they did it up until the pre-cable days, because I don't think anyone has the attention span to do that anymore.
Right. But there
would be like literally an hour, maybe 2 hours of nothing that they could air because nothing was going on.
Right.
And they would have Howard Cosell or whoever was.
Oh, yeah. What was the guy's name?
Interviewing people.
What's the guy's name? I can see his face. Oh, he was from ABC. He was the one that was doing all the announcing when the terrorists took over, and they in Munich
72 in Munich.
Yeah, Jim McKay. McKay. We always hear the
yeah.
This is Jim McKay and from ABC Sports, and we're going to show you the Monkey Girls today. Yeah, those little girls are going to be bouncing all over the place, and It's the only time you can actually look at young girls like that and ogle over them and not get arrested. I don't know. Anyhow, so.
Yeah, that was the dude. But yeah, I mean, can you imagine now in the short attention span world that we live in now that they could never do the Olympics like they used to prior to cable?
Right.
Because now they can cut, they can do this, they can play highlights.
Sure.
They can go, they can go back and revisit other Olympics, I guess. But they didn't do that. But everything was totally live, totally in the now.
Well, no,
but it was totally boring at
Then
points.
they had it delayed where they would. It depends on where the Olympics were and the time zone, because sometimes they would tape delay something, and you're like, "Don't tell me, I don't want to know," because you didn't want to know who won, like the swimming or something. You had to put your fingers in your ears. Don't tell me, I don't want.
And that really never became an issue until VCRs became affordable, because then you could tape something,
right?
Because they're going to show. I remember when Team USA beat Russia at Lake Placid in 1980. And that was probably one of the hugest Olympic events of all time.
Sure.
Especially, during that time, it was the height of the Cold War, and we had everything going on. But, when things like that happened, that might have played at, say, 2 a.m. if you lived in California. So if you lived in California, you could tape that.
Exactly, and watch.
And then you could get up and watch it and find out what happened. So, that's when that really became an issue. Don't tell me to let me know.
Well, it's like anything else. It's the same way with radio. The reason radio's taken a nosedive is because now we can get music. You can get on Apple Music for $15 a month, or Spotify. You can download songs to your phone. You can take them in your car. You can make yourself a playlist. I have 3 playlists on my phone right now for whatever mood I'm in. If I'm driving a car and I want to listen to music, I have 3 songs on there that I want to listen to. I don't have to listen to commercials. What's the laughing for?
Not to digress, but last night we had a union meeting after work where we
go to a bar.
We get together, a bunch of us, and we discuss current events and formulate opinions
at a bar
and of what happened. So basically, as we go there, we drink and we bitch. Right. So I got to tell you, now with the magic of smartphones, now that I've got one, we're at the place. There's 8 of us there last night, and here's the obligatory disclaimer: I do like the Grateful Dead. Okay.
I don't know why, but go ahead.
All right. Well, okay. Once in a while, like you would hear it, come on, that's fine. However, somebody in the bar, and I'm not sure who it was, but I think it was a dude wearing a tie-dye hat and a wool cap.
Think so? Rastafari beard.
Dude, we're sitting there and
covered in tattoos.
He is playing Grateful Dead after Grateful Dead after Grateful Dead. I mean, we were about like 6 or 7 songs
how do you
in.
Listen, there is, as far as I'm concerned, with the Grateful Dead, there's Sugar Magnolia and one big giant 6-hour jam.
If it was like some of the mainstream, like A Touch of Grey or Box of Rain, but this guy, he's going to prove that he's a real fan.
We're deep diving.
Oh, he was playing the most. He was playing Grateful Dead shit I had never heard before.
How's he playing that in the bar?
Well, because all these jukeboxes are now interconnected with the internet.
Oh, so you can go on and get any song.
Apps. Right. Basically, you know what? I've got my smartphone here. Now, unfortunately for me, the hippie I'm sorry, the guy in the bar that was playing
the guy at the union meeting.
Yeah, no, the guy that was like
the guy that was outside the union meeting.
It was horrible.
Okay.
I'll tell you what the apps are called. One is called Touch Tunes.
Okay.
And the other one is called AMI Bar Link. Okay, so they must be rival companies, and they'll put the jukebox in a venue. Mm-hmm. And then you hit the app, and you can search for songs, and you can pull out any song that you want because it's coming right down from the cloud.
All right, so how do you pay for this?
You put a credit card on it. Okay. And yeah, you can go to town. And I'm getting ahead of this story now. So this guy he's brutalizing us with all this obscure Grateful Dead stuff.
Right.
So I lean over to my buddy Dave. And I says, Dave, I'm going to open my wrists up any minute. I says, I can't take this anymore. I says, yeah, I get it. Everyone has a shot at the jukebox. But, when we were like 6, 7 Grateful Dead songs in, and everyone was just moping around. So And this is like pretty much a country bar, so I says, I'm just going to blow this guy's shit right out of the water.
I know what you played.
So, no, you don't. No, I would have liked to have played industrial music.
Come on, everybody!
Yeah, no, we didn't play any industrial music. No, so what I did, I says, I'm gonna ruin this guy's whole groove. Are you familiar with the Donna Summer song?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Donna Summer's "I Feel Love."
Yes.
Okay, so I put that on. I says, you know what? I'm going disco, and I'm going full bore disco.
Oh my god!
Not only did I go with Donna Summer's "I Feel Love," but they had like the 8-minute dance mix.
Oh no! Really? That's outstanding.
Oh yeah. So it was just like, so everyone's like all quiet. Well, who picked this? And they're looking at me. Well, I don't know. I'm playing Tom. Sitar music. So now the hippie gets up.
Oh.
And yeah,
He left?
Oh no. He's gonna go over there and he's gonna like pack the jukebox with more of his songs.
Oh, a wise guy, eh?
So well, you know me, I'm in it to win.
Right.
And the nice thing about these apps, it'll cost you more to do it.
But you can bump yourself up to the front?
Right, exactly. So he's going up there doing it the old-fashioned way, and he's feeding dollar bills in the machine to pick the songs. And I'm sitting there in anonymity.
Of course, this means war.
and I packed that machine. Not with just Don. I played all kinds of stuff. I was just like, I said, this guy's going to the back of the line. But in the second time, I did pick a variety of music. So something that was more open to everybody.
Right.
And then I said, well, I made my mark. I'm done here. So me and my buddy Dave, we're like howling.
Did the guy stay? Did he leave?
Yeah, he stayed because he put his money in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had to wait a half an hour before his.
So he's stuck there listening to. Oh, yeah. That's hysterical.
Well, he had to listen to INXS, Def Leppard. I did play Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire, which everybody loves. Yeah, we had a good time. So
I like to play that song after I eat like a lot of hot nachos or hot peppers.
Now my buddy Ray swore that's what that song was written about.
Burning Ring of Fire? Yeah, it's too much jalapenos.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess it could
Certainly
be that.
Is, I would say every time I have that problem, that's the song when I'm sitting in the bathroom. It's like, I got a burning ring of fire. It burns.
Was it a dick move?
What?
I mean, was it a dick move? Yeah, but you know what?
You can't
6 or 7. You can't monopolize a jukebox.
And that's the problem with radio, is because everybody's music is subjective. Like this guy, like there's maybe some other dude, some other smoked up dude, probably sitting there going, "Dude, I don't know who's playing this music, but this is the best."
Yeah, but once that Donna Summer came on, I was like, that just totally like everybody sat up. We're at a table and everyone at the bar sat up straight because like all these guys, like busted out their best flannel to wear at the bar, and we're all in uniform, so it wasn't like, I don't think anyone had to use too much power of supposition to figure out who did it. But we had safety in numbers.
That's true.
So we had a good time, though. We always do.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Well, I had back in the day. Let me think about this. So I was going to work for a DJ company, and it was like a major DJ company in the area. So the guy.
How long ago was this?
Well, it was.
back when we were in college?
Back in the day at DBK.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, wow, that's perfect.
Yeah, it was back then. And so I guess this was like 87, 88, 1978, 1980. Back when you used to have to carry records in.
Right, crates of
them. So the guy says, okay, I got a job for you. You got to go down to this one bar. So I'm like, okay. So he gives me all this music. So I get all the records and all, and it's all Donna Summers, Madonna, all dance music, all this stuff. So he says, okay, go to the bar. So I go down, I find a place, I pull up out front, and out front is like 35 motorcycles all backed up.
That ain't going to fly.
It's not going to fly, right?
Nah, you'll get killed.
So I said, well, Johnny's no dummy. I'm going to go inside and see what's going on. So I go inside and I sit down at the bar and I say, hey, give me a beer. And the guy gives me a beer. And I said, so what's going on? They go, oh, we're going to have to DJ tonight. Hey, bring that disco dance music. I want to hear some rock and roll. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Paid for my beer, got in the car. and went right back to the guy and said, dude, you got to give me rock and roll. He says, this is all we have. This is what you got. You got to go back there. I'm like, here, I quit. If you think I'm going to go in there and get my ass beat by a bunch of bikers because you want me to play.
That'd be like that scene in Bob's Country Bunker in the Blues Brothers movie.
Exactly.
Whatever that movie, whatever that bar was called. I know it was Bob's.
And they're throwing bottles. They got a chain
chicken
link.
wire.
Yeah, they got a fence
right.
up so if the bottles don't hit the band.
Right.
So yeah, not Johnny.
That's exactly what would have happened.
Exactly. So no, I'm not doing that.
No. That movie's not playing on
Johnny's
TiVo.
No, not at all.
Hey, speaking about back in the day, I got to do this now. It's funny that you brought that up. And it's funny that you brought up that year. I got to share my screen.
All right. So,
I want to see
the people that are listening can't see, but maybe I'll try to describe it. Go ahead.
Well, okay. Because what we're going to do here is...
While Deuce is sharing his screen, there's a Corvette.
Well, that's my screensaver.
Right.
That's one of my cars.
I got you. It's a very nice car.
All right. Thank you. I'm very proud of that car. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to show you.
Okay, I'm glad because I was just going to say you just derailed the podcast. Go ahead.
Do you remember this?
Oh, my goodness. Well, first of all, it's at the radio station. All right, let me describe. Yeah. So here's what it is. I'm sitting there.
It is from 1987.
It is from 1987. It's me. It's a picture of me. I have a full black beard. I have hair it's black. It's got color in it. I have a gold bow on my head. I'm wearing a suede brown vest over top of a Spuds MacKenzie t-shirt.
I don't even know if anyone knows who Spuds MacKenzie is anymore.
I know. That's hysterical. Now, I think that t-shirt, it must be in the wintertime because the t-shirt had the sleeves cut off of it. So it was the sleeves were cut off, and I have a gray shirt underneath of it. So that's three layers of non-fashion right there.
Okay. And we have Karen there on the far left.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I had to crop a lot of nonsense out of the picture. It didn't really matter. And it's not what you think. There was just there was a door there. It really didn't add anything. And I wanted this to be as large as possible.
Right. Karen wasn't doing anything to me.
No, she was just there. I have a lot of pictures. Okay. Now, what this was, do you know what was going on? Because I ran across this picture. It was in my desk drawer, and I remember what it was from, and it was hysterical. And I wanted to see if you remembered it.
To be honest with you, I'm guessing. I'm guessing it might have been the Christmas party
at
DBK.
Right. Okay.
Because that's the one where we needed food and everything, and I was
okay. You do remember.
Okay. So here's the story. We
were like a SWAT team at a supermarket.
It was Ocean's 2. Okay, it was the movie Ocean's 2, and what happened? It was actually like Animal House, to be quite honest with you. Road trip. So what happened was we were having a party and we didn't have any money for food. And I happened to work at a deli in a supermarket. And what happened was I said, okay, guys, come on in and I'll have the lunch meat ready for you. You'll just have to pay for it. So I was slicing like 3 pounds of ham, 3 pounds of turkey, 3 pounds of roast beef, all this cheese and everything. And I was putting, and I think it was, and for the price, what I was doing was I cut a pound of liverwurst, and I put the liverwurst on the scale, and I cut like 7 tags. So now I think there's probably $50 worth of lunch meat that we got for like $9. I think. I mean, there was big giant containers of coleslaw, and
there was you sliced a stack of roast beef. I'm not lying. It must have been 7 inches tall, wrapped up in the paper. And it had to be all of like $9 worth of roast beef.
Well, yeah, back then. Today, that's 9 times 5. 5. That was probably $100 worth of roast beef today.
It was staggering.
Right.
Yes, it was a cataclysmically staggering amount.
And Don was having a heart attack because he thought he was going.
He was a nervous wreck.
He was going to the Hooskow. So yeah, So that's where that.
And what was funny about that is because I had my then I had my 1986 Dodge Daytona.
Right.
It was brand new and everything. So that car would seat 4. Well, I had 7 guys in there. So because it had the hatchback in the back. So we went there and we loaded up with not only that, but we got chips and dip and
rolls.
We stopped rolls, and we stopped at Canals, and we got like soda and some beer for afterwards because we couldn't have that at college, of course, right? Yeah, no sense giving Irv a heart attack unnecessarily.
No, that piece of shit Joe Williams. This was the problem. But go ahead, I digress.
And McLaughlin, she was
the 2 of them,
bad out of hell,
right?
So, but he it was funny as hell. We went in there like an elite SWAT team. Fanning out all over the supermarket. All right, you get the snacks, you get the dips, you get this.
Who's going to the lunch meat counter?
Yeah, we did that party for, like you said, probably less than $50.
And I mean,
and we fed dozens of people.
And there was tons of food there.
Yes, it was like awesome. So I was like just cleaning every once in a while I'll go through my desk and I stumble across something. And then the memories come flooding in, and I was just like, I got to see if John remembers this. Yeah. So I was like, do you remember what this scene of the crime was?
All right, so now that has to be that is right now going to be our episode art. That picture.
Okay.
So you got to scan that picture for me, so we can make an episode art for that. And I don't even know what we're going to call it yet. We'll have to come up with a name. But so if you look at the episode art, that is the picture of me back in 1987. I looked like Grizzly Adams. It must have been cold out because, like I said, I had the Spuds McKenzie T-shirt.
Well, you were layered up.
I was layered up. There was,
Well, not remember where that picture was taken. It wasn't in the station itself. It was in the newspaper office.
Oh, okay.
Which was around the corner. Well, that's where we had all the food laid out.
Right.
Okay. And that was right next to an exit door, and it was always like a crypt in there. You could have kept that meat fresh for days.
Yeah, it was cold in there.
It was always cold in there. So it was. That's where it was held at. And that was like a really good time there.
Well,
like,
yeah, we did it. We had a good time. Listen, we knew back in the day, we knew how to throw parties. I mean, I'm not saying the kids today don't know how to do it or, they're something like that. But it was funny because, well, first of all, I knew I was quitting because my sister was going to get married and I knew I was quitting and because the guy was giving me a bunch of crap. So I decided, okay, you know what? I'm doing this. So I remember I'm slicing all this lunch meat, and they go, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I got to make a tray, lunch meat tray." They're like, "Oh, okay. Do you need any hand?" I go, "Yeah, get some turkey. Cut me about 3 pounds of turkey." And everything. So they're doing it all. So they're like, "You want to roll it?" I go, "No, they're going to do their own rolling. They just want the lunch meat." So they go, "Okay." So they're like, so they're putting the tags on them, right? And I'm like, oh. So I just remember afterwards, after they put the tag, I had to take the liverwurst tag and put it exactly over the top of it. Yeah. So then they're like, oh, I said, and I don't know who came up to the counter, but I went, oh, okay, I got your lunch meat here. And I
did because I was the oldest.
And
me and Don did because we looked like severely white and responsible. So everyone else looked like a mess.
Our white privilege. Nobody even questioned it.
As well. We weren't sending 24 at the time. We weren't
sending the bitter Asian man over there or Wave. They would have had him in handcuffs.
No, Wave wasn't on the expedition. There was people there that I don't even know if you even remember some. I remember Chris Williams, and you can delete these names out if you need to edit them.
No one's going to know who Chris Williams is.
Well, Chris Williams might listen. I don't know. It was
but.
Mark Richardson.
I remember Mark Richardson came?
Yeah.
He was the decoy. He was another tall, thin black kid. We sent him to on the other.
What are you saying?
Huh?
What are you saying?
We used our white privilege and we sent him to a corner so all the security could watch him meanwhile, us with our white privilege.
That's not true.
That's exactly what we did.
He got the chips.
That's right. He went and got the chips and we told him to go to a different register all the way down on the other end and we used our white privilege.
Gray Wolf was there. We put him in my
Nobody even
box.
knew what he was. We put him. He's like this little small dude. We put him actually in the kid seat so they would actually think we had a child.
Yeah. We put him in the glove box of the Daytona. So,
too funny. Well, so that was because we wanted to have a Christmas party and we wanted it to be nice. We just didn't have any. We were college kids. We didn't have any money.
Right.
And it worked out nice. It really did work out nice.
Yeah, but like you said, Don was like a nervous wreck.
Well,
Don of the group was always the voice of reason.
he was the old soul.
We made fun of him because
he was right.
Well, we were young, but he was right. Exactly, he was the responsible
one, and we were out there trying to get ourselves killed. That was
he would always be like if there was like a movie with the devil on your shoulder and then your conscience, the good side, Don would be like the good conscience on your shoulder. Like, I don't think that's a good idea to do that.
My favorite Don story is we're in the newspaper office, and it's, in the evening hours. So there's a lot of people walking around, and this really nice looking woman walks up. And Don's talking to me, just like I'm talking to you. And we're talking, and all of a sudden, the girl...
Oh, you had headphones?
Yeah, we had headphones on. We were using microphones.
And you weren't in the same room? You were towns apart?
Yeah, we were towns apart. And this girl walked up to Don, and Don's like, hey! And he's talking to her, I'm just sitting there kind of listening to the conversation and everything, and they must have talked for like 15, 20 minutes. And at the very end, she goes, okay, well, I'll see you later. And he goes, okay, bye. And he turned around, and it was like when he saw her, she interrupted him in the middle of the sentence.
Right.
When he turned to me, he finished the sentence.
Oh, yeah, he's like Data from Star Trek The Next Generation. He just goes right back. You can't really distract him.
I mean, it floored me that he was like right back into it again. It was like she wasn't even there. That was a dream. It was hysterical. It was the funniest thing. He had I don't know if he still has. I mean, at the time, he had the driest humor and it was so out there. He would say stuff that would just floor you. You just didn't expect it from him. But yeah, it was. Well, I'll tell you what, they were the best times. For me, that was one of the best times of my life. If I could go back to days like that, we had a blast back then. It was just the one.
I met Don's freshman year in high school, and unfortunately I don't know about Don, but unfortunately for me, every single year in high school, I had gym first period, which sucked. Because I'm not getting sweaty and everything for the whole rest of the day. And they never really gave you enough time to take a shower. Right. I was like, all right, let's go back.
I'm not showering with them dudes anyhow. I'm not running through there getting showered. No, exactly. And then that's smacking you. It's like you know what it is? It's a gay breeding ground in there for them.
It's like a hazing ceremony.
Exactly. You go in there and you're showering, and the next thing you know, they're grabbing your ass, and they're kidding around. And I'm sorry, but you know what? I'm a little modest. I don't want anybody grabbing my junk. Listen, dude, this isn't a gay bathhouse.
Right. It's like so. So anyway, this is in September of '79. That's our freshman year,
okay.
And now you're going in there, and I'm from a small town. Well, now I'm going to a regional high school, so now I'm meeting all kinds of people from all over the place, and Don is one of those guys. So everyone's kind of like stilted, everyone's like feeling everyone out and trying to get the lay of the land and everything. And Don, I noticed right away, and I don't know if he noticed it about me, but I noticed that he had the same stupid, dopey, fucked up sense of humor that I do.
Right.
And that was it. So, and I've known the guy ever since.
Yeah. Well, when we were talking about movies, like you guys used to go bonkers over that movie, Buckaroo Banzai.
Buckaroo Banzai was awesome, man.
So, what the problem was, I just had to hear Buckaroo Banzai. Buckaroo Banzai. We even had the music.
Yeah, don't tell me you don't remember reading that out at the closeout music when we went off the air at 10 o'clock at night at the station. Because that's what we used to read out to, was the closing credit scene of Buckaroo Banzai.
Right.
And the Hong Kong Cavaliers.
Is that what it was?
Well, that was the name of his rock group. Totally derailed your train of thought there on that one, didn't I? And Buckaroo Banzai never returned, regardless of what that credit says there.
But this was the music that we used to read out at the radio station. I have to say, the song is pretty good.
Up until, I don't even know if I can do it, but what we would do is say, at this time, WDBK ends his broadcasting day. WDBK is owned and operated by the Board of Directors of Camden County College. And I think I could still do it.
We could actually read out, Why don't we use this?
Yeah.
You think we get in trouble if we use this music to read out? Like, you think anybody cares at this time?
I don't know.
The one guy looks like Gilligan with a cowboy hat. He's got the red shirt and the...
One of the guys in there is the voice of Mr. Krabs.
He is?
From SpongeBob. Yeah, he was the Kurgan in the Highlander movie. Clancy Jones?
That's funny.
Now I got to check. Hold on a second. think that's his name, the actor's name.
Boy, this is a real 80s. This is 80s music.
Oh, yeah, it screams it. Yeah, Clancy Jones. Clancy Jones was one of the characters in Buckaroo Banzai. He was like his chief of security. He got killed by the red lectoids. Yeah, no, I just said how geeky I said. But anyway,
I'm sorry.
Clancy Jones is the voice of Mr. Krabs and sings the opening theme sequence to SpongeBob.
Him.
Yeah, if you know who the Kurgan was in Highlander.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Okay, that's Clancy Jones.
I got you. That's too funny. So anyhow, this is Buckaroo Banzai. And I guess this is one of those movies that if you saw, you would stop and watch. Right. Wouldn't you?
I would. You wouldn't.
No. I saw it once. You're like,
right past that. Look for Monkey Girls.
That's right. Monkey Girls, Buckaroo Banzai. I'm going to Monkey Girls. But the funny thing was, I think what happened was you guys hyped it up too much. You know, you hyped it up where you're like, oh my God, you have to.
Well, I don't know. It wasn't like we hyped it up too much. It was just
you guys talked about it so much, and then when I said
that was it. Between the four of us talking about it,
so then when I finally got to watch,
you were just a passive observer.
I might have liked
you. Well, you probably had the expectation.
I thought this thing was supposed to wow me, and it was just probably just an okay movie.
Yeah, we sold the steak instead of the sizzle.
I think you sold the sizzle instead of the steak, but whatever.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Remember, I was a salesman.
This is true. Well, as you still are, I think. Kind of, sort of. No. Okay, never mind. But so anyhow, speaking of like the whole Olympics. Now that we get to go back to the Olympics. Epic tangent. Right, the one thing that I was cracking up about was I saw you actually put this story up here, and now there's a lot of ways to get robbed, you know, and there's a lot of crime over there and people get robbed. But this poor guy in China, he got assaulted by vomit. So he gets picked up. Now, how funny is it that this Chinese hurler, this guy's a Chinese hurler. Well, now, of course, this is why I hate using...
You got to see a commercial.
That's why I hate the commercials. So anyhow, is that you?
That's me. I had the same stupid dopey commercial playing as you did. Fucking internet.
So he shows up. He gets a driver. Guy walks over to him, and he staggers over to him, runs over to him, and then... throws up on him. The guy goes into the bathroom. The driver runs after the guy. The third guy comes right in behind, scoops up all their luggage and camera equipment and all that and gets away. So I'm thinking to myself, wow. So can you imagine these guys are sitting there, okay, what do we do? All right, I know. I'll throw up on them. Then I'll run. One of them will chase me. The other guy, I'll sit there covered in vomit. Hopefully he'll go to the bathroom. When he goes to go to the bathroom, you grab all their stuff and run away. Brilliant.
It was. The way this was wholly executed. And this was posted on August the 1st. Right. And, I mean, this happened like... Literally, I saw this right after we finished recording our last podcast. And I was like, oh my God, why didn't I see this earlier today? This would have been awesome, you know? And the headline is Olympic hurdler was robbed in the most disgusting way on his first night in Rio. So, of course, when you're like, when you're reading the internet, you're like, well, I'm intrigued. Let me click on that. Right? So it says, with just a few days left until the start of the 2016 Rio Olympics, there have been plenty of stories of athletes being robbed. This crime, however, might be the most disturbing yet. Last week, Chinese hurdler Shai Dongpeng arrived in Rio de Janeiro with a cameraman around 10:30 and headed to their hotel. Then something very strange happened. According to AIPS, I guess that's a news service, a man appearing to be drunk rushed towards Shai and vomited on him before running out of the hotel. Where did you get that sound wave?
I don't name names.
Shai went to the restroom to clean up while the cameraman ran after the drunk man. Unfortunately, they left their bags and camera equipment behind, and another man, presumably the drunk man's accomplice, swooped in and stole all of the camera equipment. Hotel surveillance footage confirmed that it was, in fact, an elaborately designed scheme. Shy and the cameraman went to the police station to report the incident at 2 a.m., but ran into a long line of people also there to report crimes. So, note to self, I'm not going to Rio.
No.
Brazil's government has dispatched a force of 85,000 officers and military to patrol the city during the Rio Olympics, which begin on August the 5th.
Wow. So if you're not getting bit by a Zika mosquito or Rom.
Now, I don't know how Shy didn't throw up on himself after being thrown up on.
I'm kind of thinking the same thing. It's like,
it was like,
and then he does.
It's like that scene in the Monty Python with Mr. Creosote.
Oh my! That's the history of the world.
History of the world. Yeah, history of the world.
I'll never forget. We're in the movie theaters. This is like late 70s, maybe whenever it came out. I'm in the theater with my girlfriend, and they have that scene, and she almost threw up because he's eating and eating, and he's like, one more, come on, I can't eat another fucking bite. Come on, just a mint. It's wafer thin.
It's wafer thin.
And all of a sudden he goes, the guy puts it on his tongue, he swallows it, and all of a sudden you hear the rumbling, and all of a sudden they all run. The fish in the tank take off, and then this is just... Oh my God.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Me and Joe made my mother had a very weak stomach, and we made her throw up. And what we did, she had seen that before and she threw up. So Joe and I, we thought that was funny. So what we did with the magic of VCR tape, we got a movie that was kind of like on its last legs. And what we did is we inserted that scene into the middle of the movie. You got the Scotch tape and you taped over the tab that's missing in the VHS tape. Inserted that scene in there and just forgot about it.
So do the part where you do the wafer thin.
Oh, so
I'll do the one. I can't eat a little fucking bite.
Oh, they're wafer thin.
Oh, okay, put it on my tongue. And the guy, it was John Cleese. He puts it on his tongue and he runs away. And then all of a sudden you hear.
It was So we did that and we kind of forgot about it. And a couple of weeks later, my mom was watching the movie. Like, oh boy, this is going to be great. We were like Flounder in Animal House. Oh boy, this is great. And Mom didn't think.
Did she?
She was like an Olympic hurdler trying to get into the powder room because it was all.
Let me tell you something. I almost lost it because in the scene is they pan away and everybody is throwing up. Everybody is throwing up because the guy's throwing up, right? And he's throwing. The guy after he has he's eating and he's throwing up. And there's a guy on the floor trying to clean up the vomit, and he bends over and he throws up, and it just goes.
It was the cleaning woman.
And
it
was
just
like hit her like a fire hose.
Well, he vomited right onto the menu. He says, let me show you today's menu. And it just like comes jetting out.
Oh,
and
horrible.
Like John Cleese says, Potter didn't me. And he just sweeps the vomit right off the menu, like, so that he can read it. Like, but I feel sorry for this Olympic athlete. I mean, you traveled all these ways to make your Olympic dream come true. You want to bring home the gold or a medal. You want to be a medalist, and you get thrown up on in an airport
in the hotel room,
a train station.
And then you go up to your room, and there's no water, no place to take a shower. Oh my God! It's just a horror show over there.
Yeah, we should just have make it. It's always going to be in America somewhere.
Well, forget anywhere. France, Germany, Japan, somewhere to...
Well, England did a good job with it, and I think Japan had it a few... It's quite a while ago now that I'm thinking about it. Japan had the Winter Olympics.
And I forget the last one. They couldn't even... They were worried because they weren't getting any snow.
Yeah. Well, now they changed the Olympics because no one... Back in the day when the Olympic year was the Olympic year. You had the Summer Olympics.
And the Winter, same year.
And then they went right into the Winter Olympics. So every 4 years you had the Olympics. But then because of the magic of television and they need to make money, they stilted it now.
So it makes sense. I like it. I like that there's here you go, Mr. Traditionalist over there.
No, but aren't you kind of like Olympic
No.
out? It seems like we just had
It's 2
one.
years. And then
There's
it's
all
the
the
winter,
hype
and it's
and
the
the
winter ones too.
build-up.
I like the winter better than I like the summer. The winter, you have the ice skating, you have the speed skating, you have the skiing.
Now, see, monkey girls on skates would
Monkey
be
girls on
awesome.
skate would be awesome, but they can't teach the monkey girls how to skate. Even the regular girls skating are pretty good. Yeah, they're not bad.
I think I have to agree with you. I think I probably enjoy the Winter Olympics more. But to be honest with you, I really don't even pay much attention anymore. I don't know why. Like I said, it just seems once we won the Cold War, it just kind of
It's over.
yeah. Before we were like, we're going to teach those godless communists who's tough.
Right. Well, we
You
send,
know,
and it's
and
like
now
we
it's
send
like,
our best basketball players over there, the players from the NBA, and they go,
oh, remember the Dream
exactly.
Team?
But now it's like, they beat China the other day. Like, I forget, it was like 85-20. I mean, it wasn't even they should have stopped it at halftime.
That's something else that we were talking about in the break room at work. We were talking about the original Dream Team, which I believe was the '92 Olympics in Barcelona.
Maybe.
And it was like, and that was Larry
Michael
Bird.
Jordan.
It was Jordan.
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley was on it. Scottie Pippen.
It was a joke.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah, they couldn't lose.
It was just and they were like, and the Americans won 1,000-8. It was. But then they did the Dream Team a few Olympics later, and they didn't even. I don't even think. I'm not sure. I may be wrong about this, but they didn't get the gold, and I'm not even sure if they even got a medal.
What happened was that you couldn't. First of all, if you were a paid athlete, you couldn't play.
Well, that all went by the wayside in '92.
So
the
you
Dream
figure
Team.
these guys, they had college championships, they had NBA championships, but they didn't have a Olympic gold medal. That was like the trilogy of medals. Yeah,
Creme
right.
de la
So that
creme.
would be like the big three. So they all went over there to get their gold medals. Now I think, this team over here is just they're doing damage. But I think at one point it was like they didn't make a difference anymore, and none of them would go over. It was either a strike or something like that. The NBA players would not go over. Like they just didn't, there was no reason for them to go over. So they said, or it was in a place they didn't want to be. Like Barcelona was nice. Right. They might have had it someplace like in
I think it was the team that Allen Iverson was.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think it was that particular Dream Team.
I got you.
So, and I'm going back now. It's quite a while ago.
But yeah, so, like I said, back to the Olympics. I mean, I'm watching them kind of, sort of. I'll sit down, but I'm not sitting there glued to the TV set like I used to be. If I'm watching, if I turn it on and there's something on there that I like, I sit down, I watch it. But that's about it.
I did particularly enjoy that the first gold medal that we won was in shooting.
Yes, an air pellet, air gun.
Right, and 19-year-old Olympian. Her last name is Thrasher, and I don't know her first name. She beat the Chinese, who took the silver and the bronze. They were heavily favored, and she not only took the gold, but she set an Olympic record. I think she may have even set a world record in that event. And what did Hillary Clinton say? Cue those crickets, because she didn't say anything.
She said,
yeah. She didn't say nothing about it. Yeah, she tweeted something about other athletes that didn't even do anything. But this girl won the first gold, and they didn't say anything about it because it doesn't fit that narrative that they want. Yeah, so it's like, but yeah, I mean, I thought that was awesome.
I liked it too. I mean, like I said, I'm a big fan, and I'm a big fan of the shooting games too. But you don't see them like you normally would.
They used to, but they had that one in the Winter Olympics was where you ski and then shoot.
That's something. You ski for a while, then you shoot, then you ski, then you shoot. That's doing something. I'm not saying that the other one's not good, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the amount of talent that and years of training that these people put into it. I mean, it is something to, you have to honor that. I mean, that commitment. I mean, because at a young age, someone recognizes that they have a skill set that because I couldn't do any of that stuff. I wish I could do some of the stuff I wish I could curl, as dopey as that sport is. Well, yeah, but these people
Maybe not like they can.
You know that girl. She only picked up a gun for the first time 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So she's 19. She picked up a gun at 15,
Right.
and someone recognized that she's got it.
She's got a steady hand.
She's got the skill set for that event, and God bless her. She's an Olympic gold medalist now.
There we go.
Changing the subject now.
How you like that for a segue?
Quite. So you're tired of that, and we're moving on.
Changing the subject now.
So I want to this is going to be our last story of the night. Fans flock to Taiwan McDonald's to see doll-faced waitress. Now, here's the funny thing about this. I cannot find out how old this girl is.
Yeah.
Nowhere. They won't put it anywhere.
Right. And to me, she looks very...
I know you're going to say she looks like she was plastic surgery, but I just think that I love an Asian woman.
Well, she reminds me of that Russian woman that spent God knows how much money to look exactly like a Barbie doll. Right. And that's what they call her, Barbie.
I think she's just a natural, beautiful Asian woman. Her name is
Wei Hansu.
Really?
Wei Hansu.
You took the time to do that, huh?
Wei Hansu.
I'd have to get you to stop talking so people could hear it.
Wei Hansu.
So,
and that was my headphones mic up against the mic. I was laughing too hard. I apologize.
So anyhow, she works at a McDonald's as a cashier, and they have all these people flocking to take a look at her and take pictures of her because she's stunning. She's very, very attractive, but I have no idea how old she is. Like, and they have her like in a tight outfit. She wears high heels and all, and she's also a model. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if you've got all this publicity and you're a model and all, why is
Wei Hansu
still working at McDonald's? I don't get this.
Well, it says here the employee is also a college student.
Okay. So she goes to college, but usually if you get that much stardom in this country, you do a YouTube channel, you go into a couple things, you get people to, you do the Kardashian thing. Well, without having sex with, a rapper. And videotaping it. But I mean, besides that, you can go and you can make enough money to go through college.
Yeah, it's like weird.
Right. So they have, and then the manager's all upset because they're going over to look at
Wei Hansu,
but they're not buying anything.
Yeah, it says Taiwan residents are flocking to a McDonald's after photos of one of its employees went viral. A doll-faced, in quotations, cashier,
Wei Hansu,
thank you, has been working part-time behind the counter at McDonald's for 5 years. According to the Shanghaiist, the employee is also a college student who has garnered an impressive following on Instagram. In 2013, a blogger known as whatever.
Wei Hansu.
Oh, no.
That's not his name. Known as Rain Dog, took Zoo's picture after he ordered a Big Mac and uploaded the photo to his blog, calling her the cutest McDonald's goddess in Taiwanese history.
I tell you what, I think she might be the cutest McDonald's goddess in the world.
Yeah. Now, it says the post quickly went viral, and she later earned the nickname Wee Wee, I guess, which means dolphin in Chinese.
Good thing they're over in China, because over here it means something totally different.
Yes, exactly. This is following her rise to internet stardom. Zhu was featured on Food World News and in the Daily Mirror. She became especially well known for her tight-fitting uniform and heels, a tradition among many Taiwanese waitresses. Some waitresses in Taiwan have been known to dress as sailors and maids.
Now, I do see that she did have a picture of her in here, like in a little Bo Peep outfit, or I don't know, but she dressed up. She's cute, but I've checked. I scoured the internet for her age, and I can't find it. I have no idea.
It looks like, well,
she looks like she's 12.
Yeah,
and she looks like she could be in her 20s.
I was going to say, Asian people are shorter by nature anyway. She looks like in this picture she might be all of like 4'10". It's hard to tell. But she has heels on, so maybe that's, I don't know. But yeah, she's very cute, but I don't know. It's sort of like the Barbie thing. I wonder how much makeup is on there, how much, foundation. I don't know. But she is cute. I'm not taking that away from her.
She's very, very cute.
You know, just like this is what they're doing in Taiwan.
I'll tell you what. She was working at McDonald's around here. I'd go over and buy a Big Mac or two.
Yeah.
I'd go over and order some chicken nuggets.
Yeah. And fries. Oh, of course, over there are flies, but
flies.
Yeah, you want flies with that?
I'll have all chicken nuggets.
Yes.
And fries.
Flies with that. I'll have the honey mustard. So
barbecue sauce.
I like the prices that they have up there. You see 1 + 1 = $50. I mean, that can't be right. Are you looking at what I'm looking at?
Yeah, wow. And I just noticed that.
I mean, I don't know what the money is in Taiwan. Obviously, it's not $50.
Well, over here, it's 1 + 1 is $2.50.
Yeah, well, over there, so it's
you
1
get two
+ 1.
2 for $2.50.
And it has a dollar symbol in front of 50.
Well, it must be yen.
Yeah, it's got to be something ridiculous, some kind of funny money. But, you know, it's just like I got my...
Like over here, I'm looking at the Big Mac value meal over there is $109.
Yeah, it's just like, that's a value. So it's just, yeah, but she's...
I'd like to see her come over here. I think she could make some big money over here.
Big money.
Well, she'd have to learn some English.
Well, she might know English for all we know.
Maybe.
A lot of people in other countries do learn English.
That's true. Yeah, so if she knew English, she could come over here and do something.
Yeah.
She could be a model. She's a real cutie. But, yeah, you have to check her out. Her name is...
Wei Hansu.
You've got entirely too much time on your hands.
Well, you put the stories up here, and I have to go make the, I have to make the magic.
How am I going to pronounce that?
That's exactly what I was like, how does that pronounce? And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, how do you pronounce that? And I put it in
Siri
notes, right? And then I pressed speak, and then it went...
Wei Hansu.
I said, that's too funny. I have to record that. That's like when you put the story in there about the athlete getting the grown-up one, I had to go get...
It's that splash at the end.
It's theater of the mind. We just can't even talk about it. We got to have some way of mixing it up.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Right.
It's the splash at the end that makes it.
It is. That's exactly what I thought. It's the echo, too. The echo I like. And I hear it now. People will be sending this.
I was offended and I have rights.
I don't want to be subject to the vomiting sounds.
You're an adult. Grow up. Deal with it.
There we go. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Hey, thank you very much for listening. And if you'd like to get into contact with us, we'd love to hear from you. If you want to yell at us for our sound effects and stuff like that, you can email us at hello@brandxpodcast, or you can go to brandxpodcast.com. We are on Facebook at facebook.com/brandxpodcast, and we are on the Twitter at brand_x_podcast. And we're also in Instagram, too. And I like Instagram because now they have Instagram stories. And it's where you can kind of go on. And I'm going to do like a little Instagram story about us doing the podcast so that people know it's coming. If you're following us on Instagram, check out Brand X Podcast over there, too.
Also.
So, So next week, come on back and we'll have more stories, more jocularity on the Brand X Podcast.
Thanks a lot, everybody, and have a great week.
That's it. We're just getting into it.